I think like the biggest thing, like I genuinely think like the biggest thing that like people that have an entrepreneur money mindset don't realize is this. People don't realize that time is more valuable than any amount of money that you could ever have. Time is more valuable than any amount of money that you could have. Think about that. You may be asking why. And I'm sure a lot of people that are listening, especially if you're listening, you're trying to get more, you're trying to get rich. You're not trying to be in a hole, and you want to succeed in life. And everything that I say and I apply to my real life. And if you're starting off, you're going to need a job. But here's the thing. People don't realize is that you grow up in a world where when you graduate high school, college, whatever, you go to work, and you work for money. You invest your time. You invest time, and you put it for money. So this is time right here. This is time, and this is money. Okay, you put your time into money. Guess what happens? Money is infinite. You can make as much money in the world as you want. You could be the richest person in the world ever. You could have as much money as you want. It's infinite. Money is infinite. This is the thing. Time is not infinite. Time is I'm trying to think of the word. Time is irreplaceable. There's only a certain amount of time, right? You can only have this much time. You can have as much money as you want, but you're born and the clock starts ticking. You are born and your clock starts ticking. You only have a certain amount of time. That's what you need to realize, is that time is more valuable than any amount of money that you make. For example, if you're 90 or 80 years old and you become a trillionaire, a millionaire, it doesn't matter, because you only have 20 years, 10 years until you're 100. So that's a great example, is time is more important than money. If you have money, how much time do you have left? And that's how you need to think when you invest in a business. If you put 5 years into something, right? Are you eventually going to make more money out? Are you going to make 100K a month or 10K a month and actually grow it so where you can get your time back? The whole point of owning a business and being an entrepreneur, right, is that you put your time, a lot of time, into one thing or a few different things as an entrepreneur. And when you put a little bit of time into it, you can double your money. When you go to work for 8 or 9 hours a day, like I'm currently doing to fund my other businesses, when I go to work, I realize that my time isn't valuable. I'm investing an hour of time for a certain amount of pay, and I'm not making a ton of money. I'm making good money for what it is, but I'm not making an hour, my limited resource amount of time, to the amount of money that I'm making, right? If you're investing time into money, you better make sure that time is valuable to that amount of money. But if you're being breadcrumbed by your company or the government or whatever it is, if you're being breadcrumbed with money, how is that good? Because you're living check to check, or maybe you're living above check to check. You're getting money, and then you go out on the weekend, you enjoy your life, you do things, and guess what? It's all gone. And you got to go back to work. So this is what you need to start thinking as a normal person, is how can I have my life, have my time, which is something very limited that goes by like that. Especially if you graduated high school, you realize that time goes by, man. It fucking flies. You have to realize that, what can I do that will keep me my time, that will save me my time for my life, and how could I also make money? That's where people that are entrepreneurs realize that, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. I it's how I think, that's how I move. And number one is, I don't want to work. I want my time to be valuable. Even if you're investing years into something, you better be getting money from that, money out of that eventually. Like if for example, if you put 5 years or 3 years of work into one business, and on the fifth or sixth year, right, you end up making $100,000 the first month. Your business blows up, you're doing great. That time, that 5 years that you invested into your business, and you finally made $100,000 in like a month or a year. Once you reach that breaking point, you're good. Because now you realize, okay, I can do this. I can make this money. I can keep going. And once you make the first 10K in a month, it's so much easier and quicker to scale up from there. That's the thing, is like, once you do that, you realize, okay, let's go. Now I can start investing. Now I can start taking care of myself. Now I can really live and also work my ass off. And that's what you need to understand, is that people live in this world where, okay, you get a job and you're going to work your way up, and by the time you're 50 or 60 or 70, you know, you're going to be able to retire. And that's the dream that they sell you with, is that, well, eventually you'll be able to retire, and you'll have what? Say you retire at 60, 70, 80. You know, you got like good 20, 30 years, you know, maybe 20. You know, you can run around, you can do things, but by then you're already fucking old. By then you're 60. You can't, what are you going to do? You're older, you're more fragile. You can't do all these. What are you going to start traveling? I mean, yeah, you can travel, but you can't do all the fun shit that you were able to do when you're 20, 30, 40. So you invested, think about it like this. You get out of high school at, what, 20? I got out of high school at 18, 19, so we'll round up to 20, and we'll add it at the end. But you start working, you know, you're 20. And obviously I was working before. I was working all high school. But 20, for example, for most normies, you start working at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I know some people that have gone up to 70. So you're either 40 to 50 years of work. Okay. You retire. You're old. You've traded 40 to 50 to even sometimes 60 years of labor to finally be able to relax. You've traded all of that time that's limited for a normal amount of money. You've traded all of that time of a resource that is limited. You've traded a limited resource for an infinite object. That's how you need to think. And now you need to think like that now and apply that to the real state of mind right now. Think about that. Think about that's how you're going to be. You're going to trade right now. When you keep going to your normal job and you're not investing in something else and you're not trying to get rich, think about it like this. You are planning. This is your thought process. You're going to plan to invest your time, your energy, which is limited, your youth. You're going to trade your youth for a resource that is infinite, a limited amount for an infinite amount. Think about that. Now you need to apply this. You need to let that bother you first. You need to realize, what the fuck? That's fucking rigged. Why would what normal fucking person would sit there and be like, oh yeah. I mean, if I just work 40, 50 years, you know, I'll retire, maybe a little earlier even. I'll get to retire and I'll be old as fuck. And yeah, I'll be able to finally pay off my mortgage. I'll be able to get a nicer car, but I don't want to get a fast car because I'm too old. I can't handle that now. You fucked up. No, we're going to retrain the brain here. We're going to get out of the goy slop. We're going to get the fuck out of this governmental world. We're going to get out of the matrix. That's what it's called. We're going to get out of the matrix for a second, right? And we're going to realize and talk one-on-one. Ready? You need to retrain your brain. If I invest my time into something, am I going to earn freedom? If I sell 10 hoodies for $85, I'm going to make around $9,000. 10 hoodies. I need to convince 10 people to buy 10 hoodies. I need to convince an audience. I need to tell people, which I love these things, by the way. I wear them myself. It's not just about money. But I love it. And I want to make money off of something I love. Who the fuck doesn't? If you're able to go to the gym and you love the gym and you can make money off of that, that's awesome. If you're able to do anything in life and make money off of it, that's fucking awesome. Who the fuck wouldn't want to do that? If you need to retrain your brain and think, oh, well, 100,000, I mean, 10,000, that's a lot of money. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, I fucked up with my numbers. If I can sell 100 hoodies, I'm sorry, not 10 hoodies, 100 hoodies, think about it. If I can sell 100 hoodies to 100 plus people, if I could sell 100, I'll make $9,000. Whoa, that's a lot, right? You may be thinking, whoa, that's a lot of fucking people. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of effort. Here's the thing. It's not that difficult. You need to realize that it's not actually that difficult. If you could sell 100 things for almost $100 or whatever it is, you'll be able to make 10K a month. And and think about how many people are in this world living. If you really think that you could be making the most dumb shit, you could be doing the most dumb thing, if you really can't sell to that many people, I get if you're like starting off or you're trying to build, because that's what I'm doing. I can't sell to that many people right now, but I'm building there and I'm getting there slowly. And I'm taking my time, I'm thinking smart and I'm moving smart, but you need to be able to eventually do that. Because if you put it into that simplicity, it's really not that difficult. You just got to find the audience. I mean, there's rappers out there that make horrible music, but they have such a big audience now that they're able to just put it out there and they'll get hundreds of thousands of streams and they'll make money off of that and they'll make concerts. Think about it like that. If for example, a rapper, they rap and they have what? 100 people that fuck with their music that buy tickets. Now, that's 100 people. That's not even that much. But if 100 people buy a ticket for $100, guess what? That guy just made $10,000. $10,000 like that on a concert. That's how you need to think. You need to put it into simplicity things. And guess what? In a month, you gotta figure out how you can sell something or do something for $10,000. That's not that difficult. Once you get that to that level and you're able to do that every month, you're a 6-figure guy now, dude. Welcome, man. And I'm not even there yet. But once you get there, and I know I can get there, once you can get there though, making 100,000 from that point on, I know it's easy. And that's how you need to think. You need to put that mindset into everything that you do. That's how you need to do it. You need to think like that with everything you do. Invest your time into something that will give you freedom. That is the best thing that you can do. And once again, your freedom is more valuable than infinite amount of money. Because an infinite resource versus a resource that, how am I trying to put it? Let me think about it. I want to word it correctly. A limited resource versus an infinite resource. Which is more valuable? Infinite or limited? Everyone wants to buy limited edition. Why? Because they only make a few of them. It's limited. So why would you invest a limited amount of something into an infinite amount of something? That makes no fucking sense. Now you need to figure out how you got to retrain the brain here. How can you invest a limited resource into more of a limited resource? Because that's what it's all about, is investing your time into something that will make you way more money. Something that'll make it so you are free. And that's essentially what I think a lot of entrepreneurs think about is how can I be free? How can I escape the matrix? And the only way to do that is to become free. That's essentially what escaping the matrix is becoming rich and free. You have to get rich to have freedom though. Money is a tool, and that's what you need to think is that money isn't the future. It's a tool to get to freedom. That's what people think is like, oh, hold on, low power mode. What people think that like, oh, once I have all this money, I'll be this, I'll be this, I'll be that. That's not what it is. It's not about the money. Money is just the tool. Money is a tool. It's not freedom. Money is a tool to gain freedom. People are free right now and they're broke. You just need to figure out how you could do it and make a living off of it. I want to be rich and free. I'm using money as a tool. And that's what you need to realize is that if you want to be rich, you have to figure out how you're going to use money as your tool. And that's why every day I'm working on it. Every single day I'm working on doing that. And that's what you need to do. And you need to retrain your brain because you need to realize, okay, is this amount of time worth the amount of freedom I'm getting? And right now, I'm not free at all. I'm not free at all. And that's my motivation, actually. I kind of like it. I like feeling like shit. I like feeling like shit sometimes because I realize, wow, I fucking hate my life. And I'm not going to be like this the rest of my life. Sorry, can't do it. I'm not going to work 5 days a week, 9 or 8 hours a day, and then have 2 days off. I'm realizing that I'm investing to get money. I'm doing that for money to fund my other businesses. But eventually, over a few years, I'm going to be able to be like, all right, fuck this place. And guess what? I'm going to be able to invest full time into my businesses and make way more money. I'm going to be able to scale up. That's essentially what an entrepreneur does. They invest money, they invest time for a massive output. That's what you're doing. And that's how you need to retrain your brain. That's all I got for today's rant. I thought about it earlier. And invest your time into something that'll give you freedom. Best advice you can get.